Donald Glover returns to acting along with Pothead Quicksilver, Olivia Wilde, and some other guy in the thriller/horror film, The Lazarus Effect. Welcome to All Things Awesome, where we tell you what's awesome and what isn't. I'm your host, Tanner Martin, and today I'm going to review The Lazarus Effect, starring Donald Glover, Evan Peters, Olivia Wilde, and some other guy. I cannot remember his name. So, I went to see this movie to see Donald Glover's return to acting. I was a fan of him in Community, I'm a fan of his music, I'm a fan of his comedy, and I went to see that, his return to acting, and I was quite excited for it. And the movie, I mean, it didn't disappoint too much. It was decent. It was decent. I mean, I wouldn't go see it in theaters. Like, if I could go back, I wouldn't have seen it in theaters. I would just wait for it to come on Netflix or rent it. It's not really anything new. It's just a horror film. That's all it really is. And it's stuff we've seen over and over again. I mean, there's a couple of new things throughout that haven't really been done that much in other films, but I mean, for the most part, this is the same old horror film that treads the same old ground. I mean, even to the point where the person, like, stereotypically, who you think is gonna die first, they die first. That's exactly what happens. And yeah, I mean, it's just your run-of-the-mill horror film, really. As I said, I went to see this film for basically Donald Glover, and I really like Evan Peters and was interested in seeing them interact with each other, acting-wise, and see how their characters meld together. And that was the most fun part of the movie. The way that, and the acting in this is really good. I have to give it that. All of the actors do an incredible job. Like, you care a little bit more about the characters than you kind of should, because the characters really are underdeveloped, but they do such a good job playing the underdeveloped characters that that you care when they die. You're like, oh no, and then you're like, why do I care? Why do I care that he's getting bludgeoned to death? It doesn't matter, but it does, because their acting is so good, and especially Evan Peters and Donald Glover. They're I don't know if you could call it like a friendship, but their relationship in the film is really kind of comedic and almost like a friendly rivalry in a way, and it's kind of cool. It's just a little hint of friendly rivalry, but it's fun. They have banter in the film. And it's a really fun thing to watch. That was my favorite part of the whole film, actually, is watching them interact. So as I said, the characters are pretty underdeveloped. The acting was really good, but the characters are underdeveloped. And I mean, the movie is entertaining. It is. I mean, I'm not angry that I spent my money on it, but it's entertaining. It's just really predictable. Like, you can build the whole plot 20 minutes before something happens. You know it's going to happen if you've seen any other scary movie really at all. Especially this like newer like post-2000 horror genre, what it is now. It totally fits in with all of that. And it's creepy. Like, the Lazarus Effect is creepy, but it's not scarring. It's not. You're not going to wonder what's going on in the night if you hear a crack. You're like, okay, yeah, you've seen it so many times, it doesn't creep you out to the point where you are stuck under your sheets trying to ward off demons or whatever. No, you've seen it so many times that you're used to that idea, you're used to it being shot that way, you're used to it, all of it, so it doesn't scar you at all. It's because it's already treaded ground. It does do some new things, like, I mean, and this was touched on a little bit in The Evil Dead, but it shows like the point of view of the person being possessed pretty well. I mean, I haven't really ever seen it done like the way they did it in The Lazarus Effect, and it was interesting to watch. It was one of the most interesting points to watch. It was cool. She's like staring at people, and she can like hear their thoughts in her head, and that's really interesting. And like, it shows like there's a mirror scene, and it's really cool. It's kind of like a psychological thriller in that way. Like, you're not sure if she's being possessed or if there's something else that's going on, and that's the cool part. And the other really, really cool part is it's kind of like a fine line between like science and religion, and it kind of lets the viewer decide. But with that being said, it's still the run-of-the-mill thriller horror film that you've seen 100 times, if not more. So if you like Donald Glover or Evan Peters, maybe you like them both, you're a diehard fan of one or both of them, and you want to see them interact, go see this film in theaters. It's worth it. I mean, the acting is really good in it, and I wasn't like bored throughout the film, but it is really predictable. It's just a functional horror film. It goes, makes you jump. It goes, and you're like, bah, and then it's over. It's been done so many times. It's just a functional horror film. That's really all it is. It's the same thing that we've seen before, and which is a shame because they really could have done something really cool with the science-religion dichotomy, which they touched on a little, but not fully enough. Hi, Theo. And so really, just wait for it to come out on Redbox or Netflix or even in your rental store. Just rent it. It's worth waiting for, really. So the Lazarus Effect, what did you guys think about it? Was it something that is keeping you up at night because it's so utterly terrifying, or was it something that you've seen done so many times before that you really weren't surprised by anything? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in watching any more All Things Awesome videos, just wait directly after this word. Hello, mister. Hello, how are you? Do you want to do? Do you want...